prejudiced against them.
So he has a problem with the way that they behaved in business.
No, he's repeating what happened, the facts. That was cheaper for the Jewish
the
traders.
facts or his own opinion?
Ale czy tak było naprawdę, że oni Żydom sprzedawali taniej? Sami?
Oczywiście.
They did sell the goods cheaper slightly to their own
But
people, which is natural.
So does that mean that they should be exterminated?
No, wait a minute.
Well, no, seriously. Does that mean
That's
people
funny
should
what you're saying.
that people should be killed because they charge 2 cents?
Ale czy ludzi trzeba potem zabijać za to, że sprzedają? No.
Nie, ale to Niemcy zabijają.
The Germans killed the Jews.
Nie Polacy.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Anyway, dziękuję. Dobrze, proszę. Well, that was interesting. I'm not here to be compassionate. I'm here to find out the facts. Like a good script writer, I'm trying to get to the bottom of things.
When I was young, I'd get home from school, I'd roll myself a joint, get completely shit-faced, and Superman had come on TV. For years, I thought the show was called Whoopersan, faster than a feeding spullet, pour more than a locomotive, able to beat all tildings and a bingle sound, skook, up in the eye. But I thought it was pretty brave of that guy with the lisp to come out here and do a whole show on a self-deprecating sort of a theme. I thought that was great. I think fat people should come out here and talk about being fat, and women should come out and talk about being women.
This is the last remaining wall of the Warsaw Ghetto, and this is a good symbol. This is one of the last remaining symbols of oppression in this city. So we actually saw one of the walls that had been reconstructed by a fellow that we met that lived next door to the wall that was very proud of what he'd done there.
Macie trochę czasu?
Do you have some time?
Yeah.
No,
Okay, good.
To w 78 roku zacząłem robić.
I started doing all this myself in 1978.
Why did he do it?
Dlaczego pan to zrobił?
Raz. Ja miałem kolegów Żydów.
I had
To jest raz,
Jewish colleagues, friends,
Bo ja jestem stary człowiek.
because I'm an old man, you see.
Ich bin alt, sehr alt.
Was he aware of Auschwitz the whole time?
A czy wiedział pan o tym, co się dzieje w Oświęcimiu wtedy? Yes, I did.
Sam siedziałem 3 lata w łagach sowieckich.
I was for 3 years in a Soviet camp.
Yeah, I know, but that's not the answer to the question. He was aware of.
Yes.
He was aware of.
Dolej, nie dolej, ja na własnej
But
skórze
I
też
know what you can go through in a camp because I also suffered in a camp.
Dla.
We spent a bit of time with this guy, and he turned out to be actually a sweet guy who was storing that part of the wall, hopefully so it would be a tourist destination, so he could clean up. And fair enough. What I've noticed, though, and I'm being frank, is that whenever I discuss the Holocaust, particularly with the older generation, they straight away jump in with, well, the Jews weren't the only people who suffered, which is fine. I mean, I'm not making a documentary about Polish suffering at the moment. I'm making a documentary about Jewish suffering. We're coming back in 6 months to do the Polish version, but so it's just something that I've noticed. We went to Otvots for one reason, really, to have a look at a residence that my great-grandfather had there. Otvots was a place like the Blue Mountains that had good air, and a lot of Jewish people went there and built houses there and lived there, and there was a vibrant Jewish life in Otvots.
Your neighbor.
We got the point of view of a fairly articulate young police officer who was the son of people who he said hid Jews, but every Pole hid Jews. And there was also the PR officer for the police force there who said that everybody should live happily together. And then he went in the other room and beat some heroin dealers to death.
Ktoś złamie
If
prawo,
anyone breaks the law,
to postępujemy tutaj stanowczo, na
we are
każdym kroku.
decisive.
So this is Villa Elsa,
Continue.
Yeah.
and this is how it was
I tak wyglądała.
50, 60 years ago,
56
70
lat
years ago,
temu.
80 years ago.
Po wojnie na pewno tak.
Now look at the stairs.
Powiedzmy tego Urzędu Bezpieczeństwa.
When it was adapted by the secret police,
Zamurowany i
No. This
likwidowany.
was like that all the time. What my grandfather always put in staircases that led nowhere. That was a thing. No, that was a thing with our family. We always had a staircase that led nowhere.
Really?
Yeah, it was just to confuse people. That's a Gutman thing. We had a terrific excursion around the house. We were shown where the KGB tortured people. I think they were worried that I was coming back to reclaim that property because there was a fair bit of tension when we first arrived there, but when I lied to them and said that I hadn't any intention of coming back there to reclaim it, everybody relaxed.
Can we smash the building?
Możemy rozwalić wszystko?
I bring the hammer.
Przyniosę młotek.
Okej.
Gdzie zaczniemy?
Gdzie zaczynamy?
We're having a bit of fun now. We're starting to really loosen up, all of us. It's starting to turn into a bit of a fun exercise because now what we're going to do with the help of the police, people who live here, is we're going to tear the place apart looking through every wall. What makes somebody able to shoot?
Co sprawia, że
a child?
ktoś może strzelać do małych dzieci?
Or to murder 15,000 people a day? like
Albo
they did in
zabijać
Trafalgar?
15 osób dziennie. Był tak.
Żadnego uzasadnienia nie
There's no
znajduję.
justification. I don't
Nie
find
znajduję.
any
Dla mnie, znaczy,
But you are a policeman,
Pan jest policjantem.
and a part of being a policeman is following orders.
I częścią bycia policjantem jest słuchanie rozkazów.
And constant German excuse
I ciągłe wyjaśnienie niemieckie, że oni tylko słuchali rozkazów.
Jesteśmy instytucją zmilitaryzowaną,
We're
ale
militarized institution.
rozkaz jest do pewnego stopnia.
But the command goes
Ja
only so far.
nie wykonam
I
rozkazu,
will
który
not
by wiązał się z
execute a
popełnieniem
command
przestępstwa.
that would force me to commit a crime ever.
So how did
Dziękuję,
Thank you.
nie odpowiada,
Thank you.
odchodzę,
I'm leaving.
tego nie zrobię.
I'm not gonna do that.
there must be graveyards all over Poland like this
Yes.
that have been desecrated. This is the Jewish graveyard in Otwotsk, which has been well taken care of. Everybody's chipped in, and they're caring for the cemetery, as you can see. There's been a lot of work done here to restore this place, and he's standing right on a gravestone there. Look.
Nobody gave a shit about it. That's disgusting. Because we passed a Polish Christian cemetery and it was perfectly taken care of.
The Pope came to Australia in '95 and I was asked to intro, and this was my intro. Ladies of Australia, making welcome, please, the Pope! And the Pope is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know, he's a little frail man. He doesn't have much to him anymore. When he was young, he was a mountain climber. But now, he's nothing. He's just skin and bone, but he's the Son of God.
What's happening as each day passes is that the crew is getting more shitty with me. That's what's happening. The crew's going to get very, very upset soon and realise that they made a mistake when they got involved with AustenTayshus. People all over the world have woken up, but Poland, they didn't get the message yet. So this is the message is just about to come through, and the driver's still cool, but the camera crew really got the shits, and it's only day 4. I don't want to make this association, but I'm just thinking that our guy looks like Adolf Eichmann. I don't want to be rude or anything, but there's an incredible physical resemblance.
John Laws just gets out. He just gets out. And he can sit there at Catalina's and he can say whatever he wants. He can talk rubbish for his whole life and be in contempt because he's rich, he might get bashed up. Bash the up. Bash him up. Put him in jail and let him die in there. Who gives a They put Oscar Wilde in jail and they let John Laws roam around. How does De Profundus compare to I was walking and I stopped?
Well, I'm always interested to know what it looked like at the time, how the people of the towns in the vicinity reacted, what was the relationship between those towns and the concentration camps. We stopped about a kilometre from Treblinka and we met a guy. He was a farmer. Did he know what was happening in
Ale
Treblinka?
czy od początku Państwo wiedzieliście, co się dzieje w Treblince?
Potem dopiero wtedy Wojże się tutaj
We could smell the bodies being burnt, and they burnt them alive, and we could hear the cries.
później tam pole Miałem nie tak daleko, to się widziało takie sklepy tych ubrań.
I had a field nearby and I saw
Oni się rozbierali
I
te
saw
łaki
a lot
tam
of
i do
clothes
łaźni.
because they were undressed and they were taken to those baths, you know.
Yeah, we got a lot of good information out of him, and he was curious, and he went around there. I don't know, maybe he even joined in there somewhere. I don't know what his thing was. I mean, whether he was telling us everything, who knows?
Tell them I'm bringing some people back, 150,000.
Polaki sami niedługo nie mieli co jeść.
Soon the Poles will have nothing to eat here because of the situation.
W Polsce się robi bieda.
There is poverty now in Poland.
Bezrobocie jest
And a
straszne.
high unemployment.
So this is the site of the Treblinka concentration camp, where nothing remains but a memorial to over 1 million Jewish people who were murdered here by the Germans. My father's mother and my father's sister were murdered here. The Germans were very clever, and they managed to convince these people that nothing was going to happen here and it was all going to be, you know, a lot of fun. Everything designed so that the people would feel calm and would go easily into the gas chambers, and then they would be gassed and thrown in the ground virtually immediately. And what's going on there? What is going on? I'm just wondering what anybody does to deserve this. These were sweet people. Every stone here represents a town where Jewish life was flourishing before the war, and now this is what's left. I just don't know whether I might just rip up my passport from the human race and just go somewhere else.